The following lesson is linked to Learning Outcome 3, Writing and Presenting, and addresses the assessment standard that requires learners to apply paragraph conventions to ensure coherence by using topic sentences, introduction and conclusion, logical progression of paragraphs, cause and effect, comparison, and contrast. Hi, I'm Charlotte. Welcome back to our series on writing. In our last lesson, we learned how important writing good paragraphs is. That in fact, topic sentences are like the foundation for a well-written essay in the same way that builders prepare the base of a strong building. Let's go back to the building site. Can you see how the builder takes great care to check each brick is in exactly the right position? If he does this correctly, the wall will be strong and stand for years. The builder also uses cement to join the bricks together securely so that they don't slip and fall. As you will see, the writing process is quite similar. But first, let's talk to someone who knows how important getting the order right is for a writer. This is Pam Power, who is a scriptwriter and author.
My name's Pamela Power, and I'm a scriptwriter for TV. It's a program you might have heard of, Muvango, and also in my spare time I'm working on a novel. Now, what I want to talk to you about today is structure, the importance of structure when you write. You see, when you're writing a TV program, you're actually given something to work from which is called a treatment, and that's really a plan of where the episode will go. And it's the same thing when you're writing a novel. You have to have some kind of structure for how you're going to progress. If you don't have a structure, you run the danger of running out of ideas, and there's also the problem where you might actually start jumping around, coming back to an idea you've already spoken of. And if you think about it, that's just going to make your reader very, very confused or even irritated. So that's why structure is very important. Another thing that's very, very important is to actually write about what you know, because then it's going to ring true. And I think also when we write about things that we know, we write from the heart, and that's really the most important thing.
We've rearranged the order of the paragraphs without paying proper attention to the development of ideas and the progression of one paragraph after the other. Here it is.
An old lady asks a young man in who is doing his shopping in Checkers to do her a favour. And then, when he gets to the checkout counter, teller says to him, "Your grandmother said you would be paying for her shopping for her." The old lady said to him that the reason she needed the favour is because her grandchildren had just emigrated and she was feeling very lonely and depressed. The young man, of course, agrees to her request. So when she turns and waves to him, he calls out, "Goodbye, Granny," and then for good measure adds, "See you on Friday night for dinner." This is because she tells him that after she has paid for her shopping, she will turn around and wave to him, and please could he call out to her, "Goodbye, Granny." When he gets to the checkout to pay for his shopping, the teller gives him his bill as well as another bill for all the old woman's purchases.
Well, we can sort of see what is going on in this story, but it isn't really well put together, is it? It's a bit like a wall where all the bricks are connected without much thought or structure. Let's try the story again, paying attention to linking the ideas in a logical progression.
A young man is doing his shopping in Checkers when an old lady approaches him. She says she is quite embarrassed, but she wants to ask him a favour. Her grandchildren have just emigrated, and she's feeling very lonely and depressed. Could he do her just one favour to please the heart of a sad old woman? Of course he says yes, but he's a bit nervous about what it is she wants him to do. She tells him that after she has paid for her shopping, she will turn around and wave to him, and please could he call out to her, "Goodbye, Granny." The young man, of course, agrees to her request. So when she turns and waves to him, he calls out, "Goodbye, Granny," and then for good measure adds, "See you on Friday night for dinner." When he gets to the checkout to pay for his shopping, the teller gives him his bill, as well as another bill for all the old woman's purchases. The teller then says to him, "Your grandmother said that you would be paying for her shopping for her."
That's better. Now we have a piece of writing that flows. The main idea in each paragraph links neatly with the one that follows. It makes the whole story more enjoyable and funny. First of all, do your planning properly before you begin. This will make the rest of the process much easier. When you start writing, make sure that your paragraphs have one main idea. This main idea is the topic sentence and can be at the beginning, in the middle, or at the end of the paragraph. The paragraphs should follow each other in a logical way. So this is great. We know that the ideas should flow in a logical order. This is like making sure the bricks are placed properly. But how do they stick together? These bricks are well placed, but there is nothing connecting them, and so it is too easy to push them over. As you build paragraphs, you'll need some cement to connect your sentences together. Otherwise, your readers will have trouble making the logical jumps from one sentence to the next. Even though the connections between your sentences may be clear to you, you can't count on your readers to supply those links. Linking words can also be powerful tools for pulling ideas together. Use them to support your logic. As you will see, there are different types of linking words. Some of the most common ones that we use show the relationship between ideas or facts or events in terms of time. Here are some examples of the most useful words to express time relationship between ideas. First, secondly, finally, once, when, later, then, soon, sometimes, often. Why not try writing the instructions for a simple recipe, perhaps something like how to make the perfect cup of tea, and make sure you use these words to connect one step to the next in a logical and easy to follow way. The next type of connecting words express the relationship between ideas when you want to use one idea to strengthen another. Here is an example that you could use in a letter of application for college.
I am a hard-working student. I always try to do my best in my studies, and I pay attention in class. I've achieved good results in my exams through dedication and focus. I'm also a well-rounded person, and I enjoy sports and cultural activities such as music and reading.
You can see how the word also links the idea of the learner being a hard worker to the idea that he or she is well-rounded. This second point builds on the first to make a stronger case. Here are some more strengthening linking words. Also, in other words, in addition, for example, more importantly. Now, what about if we want to contrast the idea in one paragraph with the idea in the next paragraph? Here are two paragraphs where the linking word is missing. See if you can think of some words that would fill the gap. I got up early this morning, and as I made my coffee, I thought to myself, today will be a good day. I will get all my work finished and will enjoy the weekend. Then I sat down and opened my books. An hour later, I looked at my clock. I was late for school and my homework still wasn't done. How did my good intentions go wrong again? You could have used the words but, however, or even nevertheless to show the contrast between the good intentions and what really happened. Here are some more words to use when you want to contrast ideas. But, on the other hand, however, instead, yet, in contrast, although, nevertheless. The last set of linking words we need to glue paragraphs together are the ones to show conclusion. These include words like therefore, in conclusion, finally, so. Before I give you the task for today, let's sum up what we have learned today. First, we focused on how the order of ideas must develop in a logical pattern so that the reader can follow one idea to the next. Then we looked at how it is not enough to have the ideas in an order that makes sense to you. Instead, we need to join one idea to the next by using connecting or linking words. Once we had discussed this, we looked at some of the types of linking words that can be used. For example, the words to express time connections, words to express contrast between ideas, words for strengthening one idea by linking it to another, and finally, words that express conclusion or endings. Here is today's task. Read through the TV script of what I have just said and write down all the words that show connections from one idea to another. Then divide them into words that express time, contrast, strengthening, and conclusions. Before I give you the task for today, let's sum up what we have learned today. First, we focused on how the order of ideas must develop in a logical pattern so that the reader can follow one idea to the next. Then, we looked at how it is not enough to have the ideas in an order that makes sense to you. Instead, we need to join one idea to the next by using connecting or linking words. Once we had discussed this, we looked at some of the types of linking words that can be used. For example, the words to express time connections, words to express contrast between ideas, words for strengthening one idea by linking it to another, and finally, words that express conclusion or endings. That is the end of today's writing skills lesson. But don't forget that the skills that you are learning and practicing here can and should be used in all types of writing that you do.